Um, hey everybody, welcome to the Dave and Ed podcast. We have a very special guest tonight.
And it's our first ever, I believe, female guest, but not your typical female, Dave. This woman is an extraordinary woman.
She's an extraordinary woman from the galaxies.
That's what we believe. Well, we will get more specific about that in a second. Welcome, Claywoman. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, truly am so pleased that anyone wants to talk to me.
Oh, wow, absolutely. We're honored. Well, may I ask, with a beautiful accent like that, are you in any way related to the Queen of England?
Oh, no, not at all.
Good. Great. Just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
Great. Where are you from? Where do you come from?
Well, I come from, it's called the Mirillion galaxy. And I'm there right now, actually. I'm not on Earth, because I think, well, your planet's just a mess right now. And so I don't want to be there. Nothing personal, but it's safer here.
Yes, sure. And how long has it been since you departed planet Earth?
Well, the last time I came was in February.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Just before COVID-19.
Yeah, and then I went back. I thought, come back again, see some friends and, give some talks on Earth and this and that. And then, well, I just didn't come back, really.
Right.
Did you have to quarantine when you went back to the Mirillion galaxy?
Well, not really, because there wasn't, there wasn't anyone around. I just went back to my little area and sat there by myself for a while, not for any particular reason, just because that's what one does.
Absolutely. So, yeah, what do you get up to? What's your daily routine in the Mirillion?
Well, sometimes I'll just wake up and then I'll look at a wall for, a while, and who knows, perhaps maybe a minute will go by, perhaps a month.
Beautiful. I know this is not a very polite question to ask a woman, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Would you mind telling us what age you are?
Yes.
That's not a problem at all, really. I'm 500 million years old.
Wow.
A lot of people on your planet have that reaction.
Indeed. Wow. So, you've seen a lot of things then.
Yes. Have you ever had any children?
Yes.
Miss Claywoman? No, I really don't know. Oh. I suppose it's possible, but so much time has gone by, I might not have noticed.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
And are you all alone up there now, or out there somewhere? Like, do you have friends on the?
Oh yes, I have a lot of friends. I have my assistant Keltra, who is she's just great. She doesn't have a body, so she's very she's very easygoing. And then there's I've got a lot of friends. Some of them I really enjoy speaking with. Others, there's Maria, who I don't. She's you can take her in doses.
Yeah. Okay.
So are you like the ruler of this Mirillion place?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. No, I'm a citizen.
Oh, right.
I have hobbies and projects I like to do. I was in the past involved with the ruler of the Mirillion galaxy a long time ago, whose name is Sinister Grey, and
you were involved, as in, may I ask, intimately?
Yes, we were what you would call a power couple.
Oh, okay. Right. And was he democratically elected?
No, he was not. No. He was a despot, really.
Oh dear!
Wow.
Very cruel and terrible, ruler. And I was very young, and I got swept up with all of the excitement and everything. And so he invited me to rule with him. That we had a lot of power together. And after a while, I realized, this is toxic. and so, and I realized that I think that he has, you know, a narcissistic personality disorder.
Right.
So I just sort of quietly backed away. You know, I
Right.
just sort of, you know, started like, you know, slowly answering texts a little bit less enthusiastically,
Right. Yes.
you know, that not calling back so much, and then just, you know, saying, well, I've got to go on a trip this week, and it would take a few, you know, 100 years, and then I would come back, and eventually he got the hint. He was very angry, and he got so angry that he stopped speaking to me and everyone else in the entire galaxy, which I thought was a bit of self-sabotage, because you see, once that happened, he lost control. He went into a downward spiral. You know, there of course, there was chaos ensued. There were wars and various things, but eventually he just completely, I mean, apparently I've heard he lives on Avenue C in 7th Street now in a stabilized apartment. And he
Wow.
is very bitter, and people just walk, you know, he goes out to get the paper or something, and no one knows his illustrious past. They just think he's a crank on the street.
Yeah. Yeah. What a descent. Yes.
No, really, it's quite a story, but you know, I won't. I'd love to contact him, just because I think it would be, you know, what, it wouldn't be the right thing to contact him. Let's, you know.
Yeah. What did you find initially attractive about him?
Well, at the time, you know, I was living a very provincial life in a sort of quarter of the galaxy where, you know, there wasn't a lot going on, and I was very lonely. And, you know, you realize, like, I've got this whole life to live. It's going to be hundreds of millions of years. And then I thought, well, gosh, who's this? And he, you know, he sort of came around the neighborhood and stuff. And you have to understand, like, well, he was very bright, and by that I mean he actually literally was blinding. You know, it was like you couldn't even look at him; it would knock you over.
Wow.
And so that was just, you know, exciting, and you wanted to find out what was happening. And so what happened with me was that I kept looking at him, and sort of, a lot of people just went blind. But what happened with me was that I noticed that I could sort of walk closer and closer and closer to him, and sort of adjust my eyesight just enough. And as I got really close to him, my eyes adjusted just right. And I realized, well, if I'm the only one who can handle standing next to this person, then we have to get married.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. So you may or may not have spawned children with this gentleman?
Yeah, you know, I think we might have, but we're talking 300-400 million years ago.
Right.
Right.
God knows what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does one get around up there? Can you like fly? Are you in spacecraft kind of things, or is
Well,
it
I have a cart.
a cart?
Okay.
Very good.
Right.
Very
It's
good.
wooden, and I just take it around wherever I want to go. I can go to Earth on it.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
Is it like a magic thing, or is it like
No, it's very scientific, really.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Right.
Okay. We're doing pretty good down here with the science and all that. You know, like we have this guy called Elon Musk, and he's building spaceships. So,
All right. Yeah.
what have you heard of that man, Elon Musk?
No, yeah, I didn't have a very good impression of him.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Right.
Fair enough.
But what do you think of his rockets?
Well, I think, you know, well, the thing is, when I was invited to meet with him, you know, as people do. They find out that there's an extraterrestrial in the area, and they'll say, well, would you like to meet with Claywoman? And I went to go meet with him, and I thought, you know, well, this person really thinks he knows what he's talking about. And I thought, you know, I mean, I try not to be arrogant, being,
Right.
you know, that I know, you know, just by virtue of my age, and by virtue of my, I have a sort of perspective that a human might not have. So I sort of just asked him a few questions, and the answers I got, I thought were very, like my impression is that he understands a certain way of doing things, but he's not very concerned with the details or
Right.
of any of the people involved.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, dimensionally, he's not working on your level.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Mhm.
Claywoman, I've been led to believe that people of your kind are like superior intellectually to us humans.
Yeah.
Is that correct? And if so, what is
No,
your
it's very individual.
very individual?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, some of us, I mean, well, I'm not going to throw Maria under the bus here.
Please do.
Yes.
But I mean, she's, been alive. Well, she won't hear this because she doesn't get your channels. But she's been alive for over, several 100 million years. And I swear, there's a lot of things that I think, I've met humans that know a lot more than she does.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have, and again, this is a very personal question, but I'm just curious, do you have city powers? You know what I mean? Did I pronounce that word right? Do you have the power to like, boom, change things and make things happen or anything like that?
City powers?
Yes, yes.
Like what?
For example, if something bad is happening in the world and you wanted to change it, like almost like a superhero kind of type thing, do you have any of those kind of gifts or powers?
Well, I do have some, powers. I don't like to talk about it because, you see, if you do, then the humans get very, then they start asking you to do certain things. And the thing is, I've got powers, but they're not reliable.
Right.
And so every time I use them, it can either work out or it can go really badly. So I try to be very careful about when I use the powers because, I don't want to incriminate myself, but there was a couple of times I tried to help out and, well, you can look in the history books at certain earthquakes or, hurricanes, and that I didn't mean for that to happen. But I was trying to do something. Occasionally it would work out. And so I just got to the point of thinking, I'm not going to overdo this. I'm just going to, if it's a situation that's so bad that I think that the possibility of me making things worse is worth the risk, of possibly making them better, then, I might consider it.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked by any of the leaders on planet Earth to take care of things for them? As in, have you ever done Vladimir Putin's bidding?
Well, no, certainly not.
Okay.
I haven't really talked with any of the current leaders of any place. I sort of gave up on that, because I was, for many years very close with many of the rulers, and none of them ever listened to me.
Okay.
I was very close with Genghis Khan, and I kept trying to gently advise this or that. Nothing, absolutely nothing. They wouldn't listen to me. I was, very close with Lenin.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Vladimir, not John, or John both?
John Lennon?
Well, I knew both of them, but Vladimir, I really just loved him so much. But then, he died.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
He did. Yeah.
Indeed.
He did seem receptive to some of I was pointing out some of the mistakes he was making, and we were talking, and then he realized that he had made a really horrible error in the personnel department of the party, and he was just getting right around to fixing that, and then he died. So I just thought, you know what, I did my best there.
Yes.
Absolutely. You certainly did.
I tried,
Right. Again, another very personal question. Are you currently in a relationship?
Oh, no, I don't do that anymore.
You don't do that anymore? Do you get any urges or anything like that, or are you beyond?
No, you'll find, if you live to be this old, you just don't care.
Right.
Sure.
I just enjoy everything that I am able to witness at this point. I just love it. I love life. I love looking at. I'm a huge fan of Homo sapiens, and I love observing. And the great thing about watching humanity is it's never boring.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And are you kind of watching us in a kind of a Orwellian sense, or are you a bit more coy?
Well, it's certainly not Orwellian, and I'm not controlling anything.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just, well, I mean, I'd like to think you'd be in better shape if I was. I don't, I mean, we all worry about you.
Sure. And is there on that note, what advice would you give us, our listeners? What should we do? What steps can we take?
We're having problems at the moment.
Apparently, we're having
I
problems.
noticed things are in a bit of I mean, I've seen you in various binds over the centuries, but
yes,
my God, you really have gotten yourself into a bit of a pickle here. I mean, I don't like to get, I like to remain above the fray.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I do think that it would be helpful if you would. I do think it is incumbent on, the regular people to work with each other to, demand the right things that they need.
right.
I think that's very important, because I don't think that the people that are running things are not well, do I really need to explain that to you?
No, you most certainly not.
Yeah.
We understand what
You
you're saying.
understand what I'm saying,
Did you?
Yeah, Claywoman, are you a Caucasian or are you a woman of color?
Well,
Wow.
we don't really have any of those.
Okay.
I probably sound Caucasian,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't make sense where I come from. We don't have races or genders even, or anything.
Wow.
I just try to take on a form that I think might be, pleasing and entertaining for you.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me if this is condescending. It's kind of a Star Wars-y type question. Do you have any kind of enemies? Are there any bad guys who are out to get you, kind of thing, up there in your planet?
Not right now.
Right.
Right now, it's pretty relaxing. I mean, we do have the Jennifer sisters, who are they're sort of like a traveling, vaudeville act.
Right.
And it's not that they're an enemy, but it's just that they're sort of omnipresent, and
Right.
they're the only show on television, and it's a lot. And so people, generally feel like, adversarial towards them at times when they want to get a break maybe and watch something else, but they can't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And Claywoman, what's your favorite dessert?
Well, I do love lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue. Okay.
Yeah.
What describe having some lemon meringue?
Well, I would take it and I would put it in the in a cooler for a few weeks to cool it down to a temperature where I would be able to enjoy it, because I do have to cool things down more.
Sure.
And once it was cool enough, I would put it in a hadron collider, and I would make it so that all the molecules of it broke down to the finest bits, and then I would just breathe it in.
Nice.
Are you a vegan? Are you?
No.
No. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, lemon meringue does have milk in it, doesn't it?
All right, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm a retard. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm mentally challenged rather. I see on your Instagram page, Claywoman, that you describe yourself as a motivational speaker.
Yes.
And do you do,
Are you the Tony Robbins of
yes, great.
of the Mirillion galaxy?
How much do you
But
charge?
let's I'll tell you the background there. You see, what happened was I looked online and they just give you several categories, and I thought, well, that fits. I feel that I'm a motivational speaker for a species.
Right.
I like to give earthlings a bit of encouragement. I'm certainly not in the vein of Tony Robbins, because I think he sort of, he's very into success, and I am not.
Okay.
Right.
You've evolved, it seems, beyond success. You've transcended that. Would that be correct?
Well, once you've lived this long, really, this is, it is a success.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do you take care of your body? Do you use moisturizer? Like, do you have to change your underwear, like stuff like that? Like, have you gotten, like, do you sweat?
The main thing that I do is I try not to get lit on fire.
Okay.
Because that is horrible for skin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you can avoid that at any cost, I highly recommend it, because it's great for your skin to keep it away from from combustion.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing. If we may just ask you a question related to planet Earth, because people are debating this down here on this planet. In your opinion, Claywoman, would it be a good thing or a bad thing for a human being to take a vaccine?
Whoa.
Oh, I think you should take one.
Really?
Right.
Yes, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
In
Not to get, but I mean, I'm not very political, but I mean,
Right.
let's be real here.
We're not very political either, Dave and Ed, but we were just curious to get your...
No, but that seems like a great idea, especially right now, if they have, provided that it's effective.
Right, indeed. I think that's arguably the key point,
Yeah,
provided that it's effective.
Well, you don't want to take one that your friend down the corner said that they made.
Sure
You want
thing.
to take one that's been through the proper protocols.
Right on. Yeah. Protocols. Do you speak other languages besides English?
I have, but I forgot them all.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really tried. I had a lot of I used to speak almost every language, but I just got tired.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough, yeah. You mentioned hobbies earlier. What kind of hobbies do you partake in?
But I love to count.
Count. Wow. How high can you go?
I've gotten pretty high, sometimes I like to do this thing where I count every second. I count how many seconds there are in a second.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's always one.
Mm-hmm.
And the other great thing about it is you can do it. And, another thing that I would suggest you try doing is there's something that you can do that really gets everyone really excited, which is to pretend to do something that you're actually doing.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So doing it. So like you're counting, I'm going 1, 2, 3. But I'm not really doing it, I'm just pretending. And I just love that.
Yeah. Okay. We need some advice, Claywoman. Okay. We need your help here. Like, we're in big trouble down here on planet Earth right now because so are you familiar with Western civilization, and capitalism? It's failing and it's spiraling out of control, and we're scared because we got this crazy guy in charge as well, and what happens like you've been around for centuries and millennia and all that, where do you have any advice for us, any macro advice, how to get
look, I dealt with Sinister Grey,
right,
and and which was I would say dealing with an entire galaxy, which was it was for us it was just as dire a situation, and I've seen this happen on your planet so many times, where there's, the people in power are mad.
Right.
And
Yeah.
all I can really say to you is that so many times in different cultures and different situations in different countries and different places, the people have been able to overcome it.
Right.
Indeed.
And so I would just say, without saying that you will, because I don't know that, but I think it is always within the ability of the people,
Wow.
given area, to correct situations, to make life better for themselves and for each other.
Yeah.
That's beautifully put.
You sound like Barack Obama.
Well, no, I've got some problems with him as well.
Oh, very, very, very okay. If you want to share them, you're welcome to share them.
No, but I think he did. We'll get into that. But the last time I met with him, it was just, it was a very long conversation, and he kept he kept trying to explain. I was very upset about the drones.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But-
Well, go ahead, Dave.
I know, like, so how are we doing on planet Earth in terms of our GDP compared to other planets? Like, where are we on the GDP world ranking or galaxy ranking?
A lot of other systems don't have that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, which is great. Probably.
There's various different, every system has different. It's interesting because you wouldn't really recognize the systems on other
Right.
interplanetary cultures.
Yeah.
Very different. For instance, on the Mirillion galaxy, we just have a conference call and everyone gets on it and we make all the decisions.
Wow. It's like Zoom.
Yeah.
It's
So
a very large Zoom.
It's very large Zoom.
So, how are we perceived in other galaxies? The Earthlings. Do they mock us? Do they make fun of us?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you are beloved.
Oh.
Because the thing is that in so many other systems they've worked everything out.
Right.
They have like harmony and peace and all these things, and it's very like we don't have anything to talk about anymore.
So
everyone really is like glued to what's going on Earth, because
it's like watching a movie. Wow.
watching the most fascinating movie in the entire universe.
Right.
And it's really everything's just it's you're not boring.
Right.
That's very.
And we root for you. Everyone's really rooting for you.
Wow.
I just want you to know that if it makes you feel any better, I know things have been hell for you recently. But if it makes you feel any better, you should know that we're all rooting for you out here.
Okay.
That's great to hear. If I could veer the conversation slightly more again towards the entertainment side of things, as I was doing my research, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I stumbled upon you yourself interviewing people, interviewing humans, and you were a wonderful interviewer. And I just wanted to, I'd like to hear you talk about that. And I would also like to hear your views on, and I'm not trying to get you to denigrate anyone, but what do you think of the talk show hosts in America on Earth, the likes of, for example, Oprah Winfrey or Ellen DeGeneres, those kind of people are even the Jimmy Fallons and all that, those kind of people. What do you think of those? And I only ask because, like I said, I saw you do interviews and I thought, wow, this woman is really
thank you very much. I love talking with humans, and that's what I usually, when I come to Earth, I'll give a talk about with various humans, artists and people that I've met when I've come here, and I love getting to hear their perspective, and we have a lovely time. It's just great. I've talked with some very interesting people. In fact, I can't come to Earth anymore right now, but I've been doing an audio podcast. So I talk with people on that now, which has been really lovely just to have some contact. And so I've appreciated that. As far as the well-known talk show hosts, I mean, the only thing I would say is that I'm a little hurt that they've never asked me on.
Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to look. I'm not. It's not that I have an ego or anything. It's just that, I mean, one would think there's a lot of talk on your planet about, well, there's life. Is there life on other planets? What's going on? You know, it's a big question, and I'm right here.
Right.
Yeah.
You would think that someone in the media would want to interview a extraterrestrial who spoke English on a major network, but they never asked.
Do you think the mainstream media are trying to cover up your existence, maybe?
Yes.
I'm not really sure, because I mean, I was doing a show in New York for a while. I went to London. It's been in like small papers, but it never seems to get above like sort of a very limited alternative press. So I don't really know what the reason is there.
Right, because often in a lot of mainstream Hollywood movies, I've seen extraterrestrials painted as the bad guys. Not in everyone, but often that is the case, and seems very pointed.
Well, I feel like Hollywood depicts extraterrestrials in a negative way.
Would you agree with that?
Or in sort of a helpless way too.
Right.
You know.
Like the ones that were in like Independence Day, like they had like big heads and like they were all like lizardy kind of things. Like
right. No one looks like that.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I mean, the funny thing is that none of us are very sensitive about it. It's not like we sit on the Mirillion galaxy, like, writing tweet storms about the way that we are on Earth. We don't, it's not really one of our major concerns. I mean, we understand the perspective of that you don't really know what's going on. So you're going to make assumptions with your imagination, and some of it we find very entertaining. But I personally would, I'm just still astonished that it hasn't been a bigger deal that I'm here. I'm not trying to keep it a secret.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Could that perhaps be, if you don't mind me saying this, is there an ageist mentality towards you? Perhaps?
Oh, I don't think so. I think people generally, when they find out how old I am, are just really excited.
Yeah,
that's good.
Have you tried getting like an agent on Earth? Like we have these things called agents. Maybe if you got a Hollywood agent, they could promote you more.
I've had Keltra's reached out to some companies and they haven't responded.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, perhaps there's some sort of blacklist. I don't really know.
Maybe there is towards.
There might be. Yeah. Have you ever has any of these men on Earth, like, have they ever tried to like kiss you? Like we have a thing called kissing, where like you stick your like you like your lips like touch another person.
I know what that is. I know what it is.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
But no, it's never happened. Not with an Earthling.
Good.
Wow, never. Wow.
So you've never been sexually harassed?
No, not at all.
I wasn't going there.
I thought that's where you were going. Excuse me, Dave. I shouldn't have assumed.
It's yeah.
See, my mind is horrible.
Yeah. I apologize on behalf of the podcast.
And I apologize too.
You don't need to apologize. No one did anything wrong. It's all
right.
there.
I just unruly read Dave's mind. Anyway, Claywoman, I'm interested to know if you have views, or can you shed insights on like astrology? Because I have a lot of astrology friends here on planet Earth, and apparently there's a big shift happening on December 21st, 2020. And that's apparently a positive shift, actually. Apparently the world is going to like clean itself up. And, by early 2021, we apparently might have a world resembling yours.
Yeah.
I don't know how realistic that is. I don't know if you know anything about astrology or
Our only concern is what will that look like?
what will that look like
Yeah,
indeed?
I'm worried it could be mass genotype.
I'm not going to make any friends with this answer.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the thing about astrology is that I mean, I love that. I think that humans, they really want to make sense of things, and they want some sort of answers. So they've created this system where they look at the, position of this star or that star to figure out what's going to happen in their lives or whatever. And I mean, the thing is that the stars, they're not where you think they are, for the first thing. Also, there are several, they get moved around a lot sometimes, especially in your view. They also just don't really care.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Honestly,
But
we're not going to read about that in the mainstream astrology media.
Yeah, but I'm a Scorpio. I've been.
I mean, the thing is that I don't.
Are you saying I'm not a Scorpio anymore?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's not harmful. It's fine if you engage in it. I think it can be a fun way to try to relate to others and make little and make sense of things. But I would say you're not a Scorpio. You're you.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you any? I mean, obviously, the current situation is affecting this, but have you any upcoming performances via online or anything?
I don't have any upcoming live. I mean, I do have. I've got one on the podcast. I've talked with several people already. I've spoke with Anoni, and that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cameron Mitchell is also on there.
We spoke to him ourselves. Very good.
Yeah, he's a friend of our podcast.
Lovely guy.
He's a very, very lovely person, very good friend. Also, Amber Lee Frost, I spoke with. She was a journalist. And we spoke about on the podcast about the different viruses and their personality profiles.
Oh.
And then I also spoke with Erin Markey, who's a performance artist in New York. But the next episode, I'm going to try to speak. It's an all Mirillion episode, and I'm going to try to speak with the Jennifer sisters.
Lovely,
brilliant.
That's very exciting.
I'm in contact with them. So if people want to subscribe, they can go to patreon.com/Claywoman.
Patreon.com/Claywoman.
Yeah, folks, patreon.com/Claywoman. The only extraterrestrial on Patreon, probably.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. I like to think so, I mean,
yeah.
Perhaps someone will, maybe that will get Jimmy Fallon's interest. I hope I haven't upset people that believe that are astrologers. I worry about that, but it doesn't do any harm. So go ahead with it if you'd like.
Right.
Indeed.
What kind of music do you listen to, Claywoman?
I like to listen to cymbals.
Oh, okay.
So, wow. So interesting.
Which are both the symbols that you bang together and just letters.
Wow. Very nice.
Yes.
Well, that was a wonderful chat.
That was a great chat. Any closing questions?
No.
That was great.
Yeah.
Claywoman.
I had such a lovely time. You're just both so delightful. I'm so happy that I could come on today.
No,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for speaking to us. This is the first time we've spoken with somebody from another planet, obviously, from another galaxy. And thank you for coming on. You must be 10 million miles away or light years away. So it's amazing that we can.
Darling, it's much further than that.
Oh yeah, that we can communicate with you. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I also just want to say that I'd love to see some pictures of you when you were younger. I know, because
they find you attractive.
Because I do find you attractive. I think you have a beautiful voice.
Speaking of that, Claywoman, if I may just ask one last question. I'm glad Dave said that. And speaking of connection, a couple of months ago, I meditate quite intensely, and during a meditation, I believe that an astral figure, an alien, came into my living room and gave me a hug, and his child played with my hair. So my question is, if human beings like me want to connect with extraterrestrials on a regular basis,
Oh, that was Greg.
What's that?
That was Greg.
That was Greg? Oh, it was Greg. It was a friend. It was a friend of yours. Okay.
A friend of mine, yeah.
But besides meditation, because I know a lot of people who don't like to meditate, is there any other way you can connect with your beautiful people as a human being?
Well, you can, I think meditation is great. Sometimes we do come around. And also, you could, I try to be online and be accessible, to talk to people if they need to talk.
Right. So it's not like a dating thing, but it's just being online in general. Cool.
Yeah, I tried. Well, Keltra runs the Instagram, but I do read the messages and I try to respond, and and so I do what I can, and I try to, through the conversations with people on your planet, I try to connect as much as possible.
Yeah, just want to say that Keltra does a great job with your Instagram. It's curated very well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
well,
big up to Keltra.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right, folks. We're going to leave it there.
This is my last one. I'm doing a very clown thing because this has been such a great interview, and I want your insights on everything.
Yeah.
Could you give us your views, Claywoman? And I promise this is the last question. On currency, what do you think of Bitcoin, for example? Like, what is the best money type thing we should use?
Yeah, because
what currency do you use up there, for example?
Right, because gold and silver are going through.
We just have people just get on the conference call and they say what they need for the day, really.
Okay.
Right.
So there's no agricultural issues up there.
Not really, no.
Okay.
Because so many people down here are worried about money, so I just had to ask that. But that's okay. Cool.
We have supply chain issues. We couldn't get toilet paper one time.
I heard about that. Yeah.
That must have been really funny to watch from Mirillion Galaxy, because that was.
If you don't mind me being slightly vulgar for one last question, do you wipe your ass when you go to the toilet, or do you even need to?
That's terrible. Sorry.
Oh, I'll say too. It doesn't really work like that.
Doesn't work like that.
Okay.
It just automatically flushes.
Yeah. Oh,
cool. That's a great way to end the podcast.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we just had a great chat with Claywoman.
Thank you so much for your insights, Claywoman, once again.
Thank you so much. Good day to you. Lovely chatting with you.
Absolute pleasure.